Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I used to ask myself, why is it that God would choose me to be a spokesman, to be a voice on behalf of God? And the only thing I could ever come up with is that God must have thought that I would do it. I would be obedient. And I say that because I made up my mind once I was going to do something, and I assumed without doubt that I could do it. And if I had failed, it would have been the end of me. But I jumped in it as if I could do it. And a miracle happened. So God know I'll do crazy things. I'll do what I will do. And this is to be obedient and tell you the people the truth about what we're doing. You remember that story? You hear that? Wait a minute. You hear this thing about uh, the Republicans and the Democrats, right? You say that the Republicans will use whatever they can to achieve their ends and their goals. Whatever it is, it doesn't make any difference. And we can see that right now because they're buying a lie, selling a lie, and doing everything to get something done, right? Okay. So we see that before our eyes. And then on the other hand, we see the Democrats. And the Democrats are trying to say, well, we want to do something bipartisan. Bipartisan. Now, you saw Kevin McCarthy would not even consider putting anyone on that committee. Well, he might be changing his mind now. Then you got Joe Manchin up here talking about whatever he's talking about. You know the story. And what he's trying to do, say we got to bring a bipartisan. And when we look at the Republicans and what they're doing, it's not about bipartisan. It's like they represent evil. And if you're trying to say you represent something good, you can't bring evil and something good and have a compromise, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work for a whole bunch of. It's not. It might work for some of the leadership of the evil. It might work for the leadership of some of the good, but for everybody else, it's going to be a failure. So I'm thinking that I was really given this position so I can tell you the truth. From the beginning of time, let's go back to the story, at least in the garden, the Bible story. We're not going to go back before then. Okay? At the time that Adam and Eve listened to the other voice, we became slaves. Slaves to the other side. And we've been slaves there ever since. We chose it. We chose it. We had choice. We chose it. We were given an information and we chose it. And we've been here ever since. And all throughout eternity, God has been speaking through individuals, some here, some there, to bring a message to the people who are in darkness. And all humankind are in darkness. The whole world is set up in darkness. All the people are being abused. You are misused and abused by all of those who are very, very, very rich. The richer they are, that's how much abuse you get. And all down the line are same abuse. And everybody that's benefiting from the system is abusing you. And you abusing yourself by going along with it. But you're all doing it. All of you are doing it because you don't know any better. Even the richest men on earth. I was listening to a video about the richest world leaders. And boy, they got some money. And just think about that. And all the people are suffering. And so I come to you and tell you, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this real fast because I don't think I got but a couple of minutes left on this video. All of the resources on the earth were given by the creator of the earth for all humankind. Now, there have been systems set up since the beginning of time that has allowed people to do all of the cutting up and dividing and stealing and killing that was required for them to put their names and ownership on things that are individually theirs, things that are nationally theirs. It's all part of hell. It's the operation of hell. And see, that's where we were. When we were in the garden living a different kind of way, that was like paradise and like heaven. And when we gave that up to listen to, in America, to listen to democracy and white folks and all this crap that's been going on in this country, and all the people in Russia doing all this stuff over there, and all the people in China and Asia, other parts of Asia, listening to all that crap, and all the people in Africa listening to all that crap, people making fools out of you, all of us, abusing all of us. And God is saying, hey, baby, everything belongs to you. Everything. All the resources that's needed to make food belongs to the people. All the resources that's available to make clothes belong to the people. All the resources that's necessary to provide shelter and housing belong to the people. And infrastructure belong to the people. And cars and transportation belong to the people. All the resources necessary for education and healthcare belong to the people. The needs that the people have. And people have gifts that would allow them to be doctors and house builders and transportations and everything that we have. God made it that way. So we can all engage ourselves in the process of creating an abundance, all of the thoughts that we say we won't need a desire. That nobody would ever have to be without any of it. Now that's God's love. No lying, no cheating, no stealing, ladies and gentlemen. That's plain as day. Everybody can understand that. My little dog can understand that. But now the other way is they playing God. They using money, using other kind of stuff. That's why they got so much of it. Because they're claiming to be God. And they're putting everything that you need, putting money tabs on it. So you got to get the money. That means they got control over you because they determine if you get the money and how much you get and what you can do with it. Come on, my friends. Yes, you are in hell. Now, some parts of hell worse than others. People are running, changing borders, trying to climb walls, getting over because their hell is so bad. But that hell being so bad and people trying to run and you closing borders, after a while, you're going to be running trying to get over these walls because your hell is going to be got that bad. So my job is to tell you that you're living in hell, and the way to get out of it is to start respecting not the systems of the world, but something better. You be better. Respect God and respect everything that God has made. In other words, you become the light to the darkness. You don't follow their systems anymore where they deny the rights that God has designed for all humankind. You advocate that. In other words, you are in the middle of a garden in a hellish pit, what they call a swamp. You are dropped down in the middle of the swamp with God and his righteousness and his love, and your job and responsibility is to clean it up. And not fight anybody, just loving. Just making sure that you show the way. And you ain't doing nothing else but leading the way. And clean out the swamp so everybody can have what they want, need, desire. That's what I wanted you to know. And that's what God wants you to know. And then nobody's telling you that I don't believe. I don't believe, everybody got their little P's and things what they're standing up for. But I'm going to tell you something. If that's what you're standing up for, you deserve exactly what you're getting. You got to stand up for everything, for everybody. Everybody, not just yourself, everybody that's suffering, everybody is suffering. So you got to stand up for righteousness, not Trump and Trumpers or Democrats.